It's Jack the Joker Hermansson. There he is. Hi, Jack.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Now, where do you talk to us today from? Where are you?
I'm in Oslo, Norway.
Tell me about Oslo, Norway. I know nothing about it. What's it like?
It's a very beautiful city, about 500,000 that lives here. And yeah, I think we have everything that we got on a small surface. That's how Oslo is.
What's the weather like there right now?
Not too bad, actually. Maybe 10 degrees Celsius. So it's pretty warm.
That's
Not
pretty
too bad.
cold. That's pretty cold, man.
Yeah, here in northern Norway it's really really cold, but here in southern Norway it's a little bit warmer, so we don't complain.
Now, I'm assuming this is the first time I've ever talked to you, so I really appreciate you coming on the show. I'm assuming you got the Joker nickname because you have a nice big smile.
Yeah, that's about it. That's why.
Who gave it to you?
It was a couple of friends at school that started calling me the Joker because of the looks. By my smile, it looks like the Joker from the Batman. And then at a weigh-in, some people shouted the Joker. So I was just, okay, let's go with the Joker then.
Have you ever wanted to come out to the weigh-ins with like a Joker face paint or anything like that?
Now that's too much for me,
All right. By the way, did you see the new trailer for the movie with Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker?
No, I haven't. I have to see that.
Oh, it's pretty good. You got to check it out. They should have cast you, but I guess we'll have to settle for Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, he will do.
All right. First of all, help me understand something. So you're half Swedish, half Norwegian. Is that the idea?
The thing is that I'm Swedish. I'm actually half German, but I'm born and raised in Sweden, and I lived in Sweden for 20 years, or 19 years, and then I moved to Norway, and I've been here for about 10 years now. So the thing is that I want to represent Sweden because it's my birth country, and I grew up there. But I also want to represent Norway because this is where I developed my MMA career.
How'd you end up in Norway?
When I was finished with school, it was really hard to get a job. So and there were a lot of Swedish immigrants to Norway. So I was just one of them going over here, and we're looking for a job.
What is the dominant how similar are Swedish and Norwegian as languages?
Pretty similar. Norwegian understands Swedish very well, but Swedish people don't understand Norwegian that well.
So it's sort of like Spanish and Portuguese?
Yeah, kind of.
Something like that? Okay. All right, so let's talk about your last win, fighting David Branch. Now, that was a hell of a guillotine. We'll talk about how you did it in just a second. What was the game plan for him?
I wanted to go in there in a high pace and push forward and make a lot of things happening. I have good conditioning, so I know that if I can push a high pace and make things happen, it's to my advantage. And should I get an early finish, I'll take that. But I know that if I have a high pace, it's going to go to my advantage in the later rounds. So that was basically it. And if I saw an opportunity, I was going to take it. Now,
the guillotine, you were going for the back, and then you switched your grips, and you set up for a same-side arm-in guillotine. Was that like an instinct call, or is that something you hit in practice a lot?
No, especially lately, I've been hitting it a lot, like all the time at practice. So that's one of my things now that I do, and I'm very confident in it. And I knew that if I got my hands together, I'll get it. So when I saw the opportunity, I didn't hesitate.
Can you talk to me about the finish? I've got a little bit of training and background, but that particular choke I've never really done a whole lot with. When you have the arm on the same side, are you like with a normal guillotine? If I'm choking with my left, I want to be on my left hip. Is it the same thing? Do you want to have the same hip angled, or how does the finish work?
No, in this one, I prefer to be a little bit more flat than I usually do with the other guillotine. And instead of cranking it down like a regular guillotine, I'm pulling towards the side. So I want to pull him towards my body where he chokes himself with his arm and my arm on the other side. So it's a really tight blood choke on both sides of his head. So I'm pulling him towards me, and I lay pretty flat on my back.
So it's almost like a reverse head and arm triangle?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. And so the trickery comes because they think you're taking the back and then you get it. How did you, like, when you went for it, any doubt in your mind that he was going to tap?
No. I was 100% sure.
All right. Very good. What did you do with the bonus money?
Too deep.
What did you do with the bonus money?
You know, I just put him to the side. I'm gonna try to save a little bit to get somewhere good place to live. You know, save for a house. That's my plan. So now I'm just renting a small apartment in Oslo, and I want to get a big house a little bit outside of Oslo. That's my dream, and that's what I'm saving for.
Is Oslo expensive?
Oh, it's the most expensive city in the world. You know, it's so expensive.
Really?
Yeah, crazy.
Jeez. All right, I got to go to Oslo. I've heard good things, but I didn't know it was that expensive.
Yeah, you know, you better bring some money.
How much does a meal at McDonald's cost?
Let's see. I don't eat there too much, but I guess it's. I would guess about a full size meal probably would be about $15 or I'm not sure, but McDonald's is like the cheapest thing you can get though. So
yeah, Jesus, that's a lot. It's like 3 times the actual price. Okay, fair enough. All right, so let's transition now. They offered you this fight against Jacare. How did it come down? Because you just beat Branch, but I guess you were healthy, right? You dispatched with him in short order. You were ready to rock, huh?
Yeah, you know, I didn't hesitate when I got the opportunity. I was just like, yeah, let's do this. You know, I wanted to fight this Jacare for a long time, you know, and I want to be the best in the division. So, you know, you got to take opportunities like this. And my body's fine. So now it's just to refocus and get it done.
Now, you're a guy who likes to operate on the ground. You're going, not to say you can't do other things, but your record does speak to that. You're going up against a guy who's got some of the best ground game in the middleweight division. So let's just ask plainly, do you intend to challenge him in that particular department?
100% sure.
What do you mean?
I'm not afraid to go. Yeah, you know, I'll take him down, and I'll do what I do. You know, he has a really good ground game, but I have a really good medicine for that. You know, and that's the best ground and pound in the world. And you know, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're tasting a little bit of these fists, you're suddenly not that good on the ground anymore.
Let me ask you, do you feel like ground and pound, not merely in the middleweight division, but in MMA generally, there are some people like you, Jeremy Stevens, I think, has really good ground and pound too. Some people have really good ground and pound, but I kind of feel like it's a bit of a lost art. Do you agree?
Yeah, it is, and it's, you know, the thing is that the old school ground and pound doesn't work today, and that's why it's has been pushed to the side a little bit. You know, before back in the days, before everybody was trying to get up, people were usually using their jiu-jitsu and their closed guard, you know, and back then people posted up, you know, and posted up and threw heavy punches. But if you do that today, people are just boom back on their feet in a moment. So what you need to be good at is to control the person on bottom and keep him down and keep him from not standing up at the same time as you got to create some distance and punch, and that's much harder. So it's a really hard thing, and you need to drill it, and you need to be several steps in front of your opponent and know what he will do to be able to capitalize and find those punches.
Who else is good at ground and pound?
I think Khabib is probably number 2 after me, and he's extremely good at the controlling, but he's so tight, so he doesn't get a lot of leverage and power. But he makes up for it in volume and pressure. You know, he really wears on his opponents. But I think he's also really really good at it, and I take some tricks from him as well when I practice.
When you started getting really good at MMA, did you set out to be really good at ground and pound, or is it one of those things where it was like one day your coaches and your training partners were like, "Yo, your ground and pound's really good"?
Yeah, it's a thing that one of my coaches back in the days was Hermansson, a former
Hellboy.
lightweight champion. Yeah, and he was a good, and we trained a lot of ground and pound with him. So that's where it started, and then I had just some really really good grapplers at the gym, and I had a hard time hanging with them in the grappling department. But when I started to land punches, I was a little bit more successful, and I just grew fond of it and started to put my thoughts into it and research into it and find my own drills, and then it was just a mission to be really good at it.
Do you find Jacare, as talented as he is, do you think his age is a factor in whether or not he will compete at the highest level?
He is still amazingly good, but of course he is probably past his physical prime. That's what I think. I expect that he's going to be as good as ever, but is he going to be in his best physical shape ever? I'm not sure.
All right, let's talk about the top of your division, right? So you've got a title on the line this weekend. Kelvin Gastelum taking on Israel Adesanya. Tell me, Mr. Joker, who do you think is going to win that one?
It's so easy to always underestimate Kelvin Gastelum. He's so good at what he do, but it's so hard to see how he's gonna get inside of that extreme range advantage that Adesanya has. He has such a good range and those long arms, long kicks, long legs. It's going to be hard for Gastelum to get in there. But I'm thinking that either Adesanya is going to get it on points or Kelvin is going to knock him out.
No wrestling involved?
Kelvin has good wrestling, but will he use it? He's such a good striker these days, so I think he will probably keep it there.
And then let's say you're right. Let's say Israel Adesanya wins. What about Adesanya versus Whitaker?
Oh, with Whitaker, he's the man. He's the best. I really believe that. So I think he will get it.
Let's say I'm not saying I disagree, but let's play as we say here in America, devil's advocate. Let's say I disagreed. Convince me that Whitaker's better.
Yeah, he is his footwork and his way of closing distance and putting together combinations. I think he will be a little bit too quick for Adesanya. I think it's going to be hard for him to keep him at distance. I think Whitaker has good enough setups in his striking techniques and such good variation. So I think he will find it, and he's such an intelligent fighter as well, and he, many people, I think they get mesmerized and they look at Adesanya's weird movement and so on. But Whitaker has a mind of steel. It's so hard to get into his head, and you can see in the Romero fight how he always keeps focus throughout the fight. I just believe in that guy, so I think he will win.
All right, it's a pretty compelling case. Now, what's interesting is you're ranked 10th. You're now inside the top 10 of middleweights in the world. Jacare's at 3. So here's how it goes. Number 1, Whitaker is the champ, so he doesn't count as a contender. 1 is Romero, that's the spot you're taking, and then for this fight. And then 2 is Rockhold, who's up a weight class. 3 is Jacare. 4 is Gastelum. 5 is Adesanya. So wait a second now. If you win this fight, where do you think that puts you in this division?
I think it puts me in top of the division, and I really hope it do. And we will see. But of course, Adesanya and Gastelum is gonna fight, and then the winner probably will fight Whitaker when he gets healthy. But then we will see if I can get the fight, or if maybe they will put together Paulo Costa and Romero for a fight, and then the winner will fight me, and then the winner there will be fighting for the title. That
So-
will be possible.
Yeah, but no matter what, not far away at all.
No,
Very close.
that's what's so great with this.
Let me ask you. I read about something. Do you watch a lot of? Well, you probably don't watch a lot, but I'm sure you've watched at some point in your life some Norwegian television, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Is it true? I heard about this. Is it true that in Norway y'all watch something called slow TV, which is like just a camera over like a river as it like a boat moves forward for like 4 or 5 hours?
No, I've never heard of that.
You never heard of slow TV?
I haven't. No.
Dude, a buddy of mine went to Norway and told me it's a real thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to look into that because I never heard of it.
All right. Well, maybe these are fake news. I don't know. I had heard it was true. By the way, you ever been to Florida? You must have been to Florida before, right?
Yeah, I have. I've been in Orlando once.
I'm sorry to hear that. Florida is the worst representation of America. All right.
I
It's
had
no-
a great time.
It's no Norway. Trust me. It's not even Albania. All right, man. Well, look, you got a great story. You got a great nickname, a great smile, and I look forward to seeing your fight in UFC Fort Lauderdale main event. Can't wait.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
There he goes. Catch up on that slow TV too. Don't miss out on that.
Yeah.
All right, there he goes. Jack Hermansson.